Welcome to 808s and Joysticks, and this is our reaction to the Square Enix show that we've just watched. I'm not even sure that we can react. There's just like one sort of thing that we can play to show how we feel right now. It's upsetting.
I'm upset. It's sad. It's really sad. It was boring. There was nothing on there. They showed Kingdom Hearts.
We've had to do the stream like an hour early because of how short the conference was.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even call it a conference. It was a direct.
It was definitely a direct and a shit one at that, because they showed.
We saw two new games. One thing that we didn't know, which was the Monster Hunter Final Fantasy crossover.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's literally like all that we saw that was new. There was nothing else that was like. Nothing blew me away.
Exactly. We sat there. First, they started off with a really deep dive into Tomb Raider.
Okay, yeah. So to be fair, Tomb Raider looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
It looked a lot like Uncharted. It looked like they'd put a lot of effort into the game again. The game's obviously going to be fun to play. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's got some stealth elements to it again, which we're discussing. And that looks good. That's probably like the highlight of the actual show, like the opening bit.
Yeah.
But it's the fact they opened up with that and loads of gameplay and a deep dive, and you thought, right, they're going to do this for like most of the games now. But
I just don't know what it was like. I just expected a lot more from them. There was not much Final Fantasy, like, wasn't even spoke about. They spoke about the online. They didn't speak about 15.
There was nothing to do with the Avengers from last year.
There's nothing to do with the Avengers game that they're working on. There was nothing to do with new with Kingdom Hearts. As we said just before, we just posted a reaction. Well, not a reaction, just our thoughts so far. We both said that we don't feel like they were really going to show anything for Kingdom Hearts again now, because the release date is so soon, and they really didn't. They showed a trailer, which we already seen yesterday, which we think, I don't know if it's just our memories because we haven't had a lot of sleep or anything, but there were some parts of the trailer that looked like they were in there that there wasn't in there.
I feel like it was the same trailer now, like looking back at it.
I think it was the same trailer.
If it wasn't the same trailer and it was slightly different, there was
what was the
5 to 10 seconds of new content in there.
What would the point have been of that? Like, really,
there was nothing gameplay shown, like nothing at all. I'm just hoping that like a lot of the stuff that was announced or was said is coming to PS4 and Steam, but I'm hoping from the fact that it's coming to PS4, like, we might hear some more stuff at the PlayStation conference about Square games.
Some of these games that were like shown, yeah, that's true. Exactly, like we're kind of scrambling, because this is probably going to be like our shortest reaction yet, because there's nothing really for us to. We've already gone over Kingdom Hearts and everything a lot already in the past. We spoke about Octopath Traveler before in our podcast.
They didn't show anything though, did they?
They showed just a trailer. This is the trailer and the release date, which we already knew. We already knew it was coming out in July, and they showed Dragon's Quest.
Dragon Quest looked exciting.
It did look exciting,
but it was already known about.
It's already been known about. It wasn't. There wasn't like a, oh wow.
I'm not sure if the release date was something brand new. It could have been, but like overall for a conference, like there was nothing there. Like they've put all these trailers out. So like Just Cause, Tomb Raider. Like, Just Cause looked really good as well. I'm not going to doubt about it. It did look really good.
Well, we already seen Just Cause yesterday.
Just Cause, Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
The Amazing Adventures of Captain Spirit. Or The Adventures of Captain Spirit. We saw that yesterday.
Yeah, but even with that, there goes all.
We saw Kingdom Hearts yesterday and Microsoft. Like, we saw all those trailers yesterday.
We know Life is Strange 2 is coming, because they even mentioned it. Said that this game that they were coming out, The Adventures of Captain Spirit, will introduce you and link you to some of the new characters from Life is Strange 2. So why not just show Life is Strange 2 off a little bit? They could have done something else. Like, I think it was very lackluster, and we like together, we just wasn't impressed at all. I think it was a joke, really. I expected a lot more. I expected
at least an hour for what they've got this year, especially considering Tomb Raider and Just Cause are coming out before the end of the year,
Yeah,
and Kingdom Hearts is coming out in January,
and fair enough. Then
and The Adventures of Captain Spirit is coming out in like a week.
Exactly. And
So
fair enough that
there's no gameplay.
they don't
show it.
they don't publish Hitman anymore, but their developer is underneath Square, which we found out recently.
But it's published by someone else.
But it's published by Warner Brothers. But Square still could have like gave IO Interactive a little platform just to talk about Hitman a little bit, because it is still one of their studios. No Hitman, you know what I'm saying? It just didn't.
I'm not sure if they would have been able to show Hitman, hence why Hitman was announced earlier. But still, like they had enough in their backlog to actually show stuff off for games that are releasing this year, which is the important thing. These games are all releasing this year. Like Octopath Traveler's releasing, Dragon Quest is releasing. We saw a little bit of Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
saw a bit of Just Cause.
That's
we saw
releasing.
a bit of Tomb Raider.
Yeah, these are all games that are coming out this year, except for Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts is coming out in January.
Yes,
but we didn't see anything else different.
That's the top of next year anyway. That's still technically like it's all within the same kind of release window as winter-wise. Is they're trying to release most of their games, except for the Adventures of Captain Spirit is in summertime. But I think that's their only summertime game that they have. We also seen 2 brand new games. What do you think about those?
We did. We saw the Quiet Man. I'm not sure.
Transition was...
I'm not sure what the trailer was or the transition.
was ass. I don't know what that was.
I don't know what it's meant to be, whether it's meant to be like some sort of superhero or what, but...
Is the game going to be silent?
I don't know. Where's the Avengers gone? Like... that's... I was like, maybe this is an Avengers thing. It's not. It's the Quiet Man, whatever that is. And then we saw Babylon's Fall or something.
Yeah, that just looked like another like Final Fantasy-esque type of game.
Like a champion sort of game to me.
Yeah, maybe like a cross between Final Fantasy. Looked like I had a little bit of elements of Dark Soul in there, like because it had like some really big boss that looked like kind of like a creepy Dark Souls monster. I can't really.
But again, we didn't see too much from those games. We just saw like small snippets of the trailer.
That was 2019 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was it. And they're both coming to PS4 and Steam.
And it's
only,
and it's Platinum Games
apparently.
As well. That is a Platinum Games. Platinum Games is also doing that Avengers game as well.
Are they? Or is that now like cancelled and they're working on this instead?
Hey, we're gonna end up seeing.
Because if that's coming 2019, like when's this Avengers game coming?
We're going to end up seeing that on Unseen 64 on Did You Know Game, and like, did you know about like the cancelled Avengers game? Because we've not seen anything from this.
Or is the Avengers game going to turn up at PS4?
Nah.
Like, near Spider-Man?
I don't know. That is true.
It's doubtful. It's highly doubtful. I could give it a 10% chance of showing up. But I still think that the fact they announced it last year, there's a chance. At least like update people on what's going on. This is the thing every year with E3, when the company will come out and announce something, and then
silent. There's
nothing else from that, and then
total radio silence.
You'll just find out that the game's been cancelled through the news, and that's it. That's all you get. Like,
when you read
that
through the news,
trailer.
it'll be like through like somebody who's left the company. It's just like, yeah, the game's cancelled. Like the NDA's like up, and they'll be like, yeah, the game was cancelled like a year ago. That's what happened with Scalebound and stuff like that. People came out and said, oh, Scalebound got cancelled, and then Microsoft themselves had to come out and make a statement that Scalebound was cancelled. This could be possibly the same thing that's going on here. I don't know why you would want to mess up a big third-party license like that, though, in my opinion.
I don't know. I've got no idea, like, what's going on. I'm gonna just quickly have a look at like the rundown of what we just saw. I think we've literally covered everything apart from the Final Fantasy Online Monster World crossover.
We don't see. That's another thing. They didn't even really outline what that was supposed to be. Wasn't it an event? Is it a crossover? Is the two worlds going to be joining forces? What's going on with that? Like, they didn't even really outline what was happening.
Yeah, everyone was expecting something like Final Fantasy VII or a detailed look at Kingdom Hearts 3 or Life is Strange 2.
Everyone was expecting at least a year.
There's literally nothing that happened at all. Like we saw the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, obviously, and then we did see new content for Final Fantasy 14 online. So if anyone's like is a big fan of that, and I know there's a lot of people that still play that game. Like if people are interested in playing that game, then that's probably good for them. And then there was that Monster Hunter crossover, but again, it was never really like stated what it was. It's just sort of like Monster Hunter's coming to Final Fantasy 14. Whether that means like an event or characters or what, we're not sure. And then basically like there's not too much else. There's Dragon Quest, which we saw, which looks like sort of Ni no Kuni in a way.
I'm just seeing here. We're just doing some Googles. Obviously, we've got the luxury of like searching on the screen. I'm seeing here that the 3DS version of Dragon Quest 11 is already out in Japan.
Yeah, I think
so. Is this just like a redone version for the console?
I feel like this is more up to date than that, like, because it does look very good compared to like a 3DS version or something like that. And it's coming out on the 4th of September, I believe. And they're announcing something on the 2nd of September, they said, for Dragon Quest, like a Dragon Quest special thing.
Oh, Dragon Quest 11 has been out in Japan on the 3DS and PlayStation 4 since July 29th, 2017. So that's already been out.
Well, we knew it was coming.
Yeah,
but
now it's worldwide release on
it's on the 4th of September
on Windows. It's only coming out on PC and PlayStation as well, but it's coming to the Switch too, but still no date for the Switch at the moment. So maybe Nintendo will announce that in their direct.
It's interesting. I'd be interested in playing that game on the Switch, I'm not going to lie. Like it is a very much a game that would probably work well on the Switch. They do have Dragon Quest Builders on the Switch, but that's slightly different. That's like a Minecraft-y sort of thing.
Yeah.
This would be more like interest me, and I'd probably get the chance to play this a lot more if it did come to like a handheld. So I'd consider that. And then there's Kingdom Hearts. We can't keep speaking about Kingdom Hearts as if it's like not coming. They've announced it's coming on the 29th of January, but we need to see stuff. We need to see more stuff than the trailers.
I didn't want to admit it. I'm starting to get worried, you know. I'm starting to get worried about Kingdom Hearts as a game. Like I feel like they're going to push it back again. I don't know why they're not showing us more than they already have. It's seeming a little bit alarming to me.
I don't know. But sort of like taking positives from this, I do want to say that Just Cause 4, like the new, they're using a new engine for that, they said, and a lot of the physics and stuff now with the dynamic weather, you have like sandstorms, hurricanes, everything like that looks really good, like really good. It does seem like it's going to be like a really fun game to just play.
Yeah.
Apparently they've been like up the AI as well, so the AI is smarter, and that makes combat a little bit harder, or you know, makes it more enjoyable for the player to play against the AI rather than them being sort of easy to just gun down. Mm-hmm. So that might add like another aspect to it, but obviously overall it's still like that sandbox game that everyone loves for literally like destruction. That's all it is, like. But they've redone a lot of things, they said, and the game does look incredibly good compared to previous Just
Causes. Yeah, it does.
So that new engine obviously is coming into account and working well.
This is done by the brilliant Avalanche Studio.
Whether they use that engine for Rage 2,
no, they would have used ID Tech. They would have used the Doom engine.
Doom engine.
Yeah.
That explains why it looks a lot like Doom.
Doom, yeah. And plays a lot like Doom as well, because they'll use the same animations, same mechanics. They'll just redo them in a certain way, which is the problem with Rage. That's what I had. I just felt like it looked like Doom too much.
Yeah, it did look a lot like Doom, just like a sort of
in a desert,
a rehashed version with a little
no demons
stuff on it.
Mutants,
There's mutants, but no
demons.
The Quiet Man. So I don't know. We're really running out of things to say. Like, there was nothing in this conference at all.
It just looked. It was just
a mysterious looking live action fisticuffs thing. Is what people have described it as. So
no, it was literally, it was a live action thing. It was like a short film. I was like, okay, who's this edgy ass kid with his little parting in his hair, like going down across his eyes? I was like, all right, we've got an emo. Like, and then he walks up to these like three, I don't know, quote unquote bad guys with like a bag.
Yeah, it's like a paper bag. And he starts
beating the shit out of them. But then the game like transitions over into game graphics. The transition
was terrible.
Really like, shit.
The graphics didn't look.
It looked good. No, the graphics were good, but the transition from real life to live action, the engine wasn't good enough to do that.
No.
So I don't know.
And that was it.
That was Square Enix. It was boring. Everyone expected at least an hour. We got 30 minutes.
We planned for like an hour to an hour and a half.
That was based on previous times as well, that they're doing an hour.
Yeah, but also considering all the stuff they've got this year, like all those IPs that they've got that they can work with, the games that are coming out, how much they can show off, how much they can get people hyped to try and go and buy these games. They just showed the same trailers they showed at Microsoft.
The thing is,
and a little bit more like in depth for 5 minutes for Tomb Raider and Just Cause, but
they should have they really could have utilized this little direct space that they had. It was so short. Yeah, I don't even think people were expecting it to be this short because IGN's stream wasn't even back online by the time when it ended. So I think people really was expecting something a lot longer, unless they did plan for something a lot longer and a change of plans maybe. I don't know, but it was a direct, so it seemed pretty pre-produced. So I don't think there was anything like, last minute plans changed and we decided to showcase something on PlayStation stage or Xbox's stage or whatever.
Who knows?
We don't know, but it was concise. It had voiceover. It had a montage at the end of all the games. It was pretty over. So
yeah, we were surprised that it was over. Like the montage coming on, I was like, that can't be it. Like they've just showed us trailers for half hour. The fact that it's half hour though, and they had all those games lined up, and they showed like 5 minutes of gameplay for 2 games. Not even 5 minutes of gameplay, 5 minutes of in-depth discussion of 2 games. But then they've also shown off 2 brand new games, but both from Platinum Games, who they showed off a brand new game for last year, and we no idea where that game is.
Don't know where the game is.
I don't know what they're doing with that studio, because Platinum Games are obviously not making games; they're just making concepts at this point.
Wait, no,
we're not.
You can't say they're making concepts because Platinum is
no, but
what is Platinum working on at the moment? Because that's the problem with Platinum. They have 3 main:
The Quiet Man and Babylon's Fall, and the Avengers game that we don't know anything about.
Now I'll put it up because I know Platinum they have 3 main teams that work on games, and depending on what team you have, if you've got the OG, if you've got Hideki Kamiya, who's the original guy we've got
to point out that
he's one of the original creators of Devil May Cry. If we had him making whatever game it is, it will be good.
We've got to point out that Nier Automata as well is coming to Xbox,
which we already spoke about.
We already knew that, but they announced that again. Again, something else that they just decided to throw in. Basically, Xbox ruined everything for them, but they gave it to Xbox anyway. So I don't know what the point in them doing a conference was really at this point in time.
They gave them
there was no need for it.
They gave them the Kingdom Hearts reveal for the Frozen world. They gave them everything. They gave them the Nier Automata reveal. They could have had that in the bag. Just go down. So currently, they work. Also, Quiet Man is not them. So who's
Quiet Man is Platinum Games.
I don't think it is.
It is. It said during the thing.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So far, we have World of Demons, which is the mobile game, which looks pretty decent, by the way. Babylon's Fall. We've got a game called Grand Blue Fantasy, Project Relink, Lost Order, and Bayonetta 3. I'm guessing Platinum is not a part of the Avengers project. That was my bad because I thought they were. So that's what they're working on so far.
So who is part of the Avengers?
It's not been Avengers Square Enix.
Like, I was pretty sure that it was Platinum or someone that was
I don't think it is. It's not Platinum now. If it's not on their roster, then Crystal Dynamics.
Crystal Dynamics and Eidos.
But they've just made Tomb Raider, so I'm guessing they're probably not going to focus on Avengers at the moment.
We got the.
That was last year.
Yeah, we got an announcement trailer last year. Like, we're expecting something, and there's nothing. I feel like this is just going to be like another game that comes and goes.
I feel like it's going to get switched over to another company. I feel like it's going to be one of them. Third party licenses never do well. We already know, like, they have so many problems with trying to get a third party game right. Like, Batman's probably the only recent one in recent time which is like done well. And the Telltale games, they've took third party licenses and done them justice. It's very hard, but I guess
I think that's it. There's literally not like anything more that we can say about Square Enix. We might as well rate the conference. Like, let's give it a rating out of 10. What do you think?
I'm gonna have to give it like maybe like a 1.5 out of 10.
1.5.
1.5 out of 10. What was even that?
That was
that.
Yeah. That was this.
Yeah, 1.5 out of 10 because that shit was terrible and they didn't really show much of. You can see the whole of this reaction has just been us slandering the entire conference. Ubisoft better come with some fire, or I got something for them as well. So,
I mean, I originally said a 2 out of 10.
You can't possibly.
I was considering raising it to a 3 out of 10, but I'm not sure. I considered it, and I was like, I go for 2 out of 10. That was, while it started good, like, it was poor. It's possibly one of the worst things I've ever watched. Apart from when I stayed at that one time to watch No Man's Sky Experience and just watch some people play music for like 3 hours and didn't see any gameplay because I was pissed at that. But still, like,
I remember that.
But still, like, that's probably one of the most disappointing E3 experiences I've ever had, like, ever. Considering what they've got, and like Kingdom Hearts 3, I've been waiting years for now, and we just saw the same trailer. So I'm really not happy at all. I'm not entirely sure what's true and what's not. Yeah, who really cares about Square Enix anyway? I mean, they've not done themselves justice with all the stuff they've got.
No,
and we've got Ubisoft coming up, and I'm excited for Ubisoft. I'm really excited to see what the new Assassin's Creed really holds, because we know a little bit of detail that it might be like based around the Roman era, and it's meant to follow on from Origins.
But how did he get from Egypt to Greece?
I'm not sure. I'll take like a Super Mario Odyssey, Assassin's Creed Odyssey crossover, but I'm not sure that'll be like a good thing.
Tom, let's just cut the stream out. I don't know where you go with that bullshit theory about I'll take a Odyssey crossover.
I want that Nintendo crossover. That's what I want.
Imagine
that Ubisoft Nintendo
imagine
game.
you just see Mario just peering on like a side of a building, jumping into a haystack. That's going to be wild. That is going to be so wild. Nah.
Doubtful. I give that a 2%
That's never
chance.
happened.
What else are we looking forward to for Ubisoft? Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to build myself up now after that. I feel like if we build ourselves up to expect Beyond Good and Evil 2 gameplay, we're going to be sorely disappointed.
I
reckon we might see the same trailer from last year, and then they'll just end the conference. Like,
I don't think they're going to do that, because they already showed off some like gameplay, very basic pre-alpha gameplay already. So, you know, I'm keeping an open mind now. That's what I'm doing, because Square Enix really, I don't know, the last two, like Bethesda and Square Enix, like together, like just put down on it. Like Bethesda was good though. Like towards the end
was pretty good. Yeah,
but, like,
the start was a bit slow.
It was Xbox. I think they might actually have the best conference.
Yeah,
so far, due to the how many
I'm still hoping
premieres.
to use the air horn a little bit more before E3's over.
Nah, Sony's definitely going to have that fire for us, and I think Ubisoft will do well. Why?
I don't know. I think that was meant to be the air horn. It played the wrong one. Obviously, it's predicted that Ubisoft might not be that good.
Well, we're gonna have to see when it comes around to Ubisoft's 9 o'clock, isn't it? So we've still got
Ubisoft is at 9 o'clock.
Got an hour 50.
We'll just run over what we're actually covering for the rest of the evening.
What we can try and
day,
do,
if you're listening in America.
What we can try and do is see if like we have like a proper running time for like Ubisoft or anything. Let's see if we can try and find one out there. Go on the YouTube page for IGN. They usually have their whole setup for the day, don't they?
And we've planned out for a 10:30 stream, which normally should be okay. There's not too much that we have like planned after that. We've got, so if we talk down, there doesn't seem to be any information on how long anything is going to be.
Oh no, go on you have to go on the actual video, like get out of YouTube gaming,
because basically IGN didn't look like they were set up for Square Enix, which is what we've said.
Go.
Ubisoft seems to be 1.5 hours.
Yeah.
So we're looking good for both of our things actually. So if you are interested in listening, we will be covering Ubisoft and doing a reaction to that at 10:30 p.m. British Summer Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time. And then the big one for tonight, or today, if you're listening in America, will be Sony. So that's at 3:30 a.m. Our reaction to that, 3:30 a.m. British Summer Time, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 7:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Now, I'm looking forward to both of these conferences now, and Nintendo tomorrow. If all else fails, I know Nintendo tomorrow with Pokemon. I'm going to be excited.
Yeah, they're definitely going to show Pokemon, and they're going to show off some. They're probably going to show off
the Star Fox was announced sort of today, so
they're going to show off Metroid Prime 4.
I'm excited for Star Fox, Metroid Prime, and Pokemon. So if all else fails, like, I've got my Switch, I can stick to that. Like, I know I've got games I can play that I'm going to enjoy. But again, I'm hoping for more from Sony than what we've just seen, and I'm still hoping for more from Ubisoft from what we've just seen. There doesn't seem to be any like unannounced games from Ubisoft. There's the leaks for Assassin's Creed, but we already sort of know that. But we're just going to have to wait and see what actually comes out of this now.
Yeah. I think that's it. We'll wrap it up.
Yeah. Like I said, we will be back at 10:30 p.m. British Summer Time, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 2:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Listen live on the website at 808sandjoysticks.com or 808sandjoysticks.co.uk. You can also listen live on Spreaker iHeartRadio or TuneIn Radio if that is something that is better for you and you use that platform a little bit more.
Also, every episode is posted straight after we've done the live stream. It gets posted to everything, so iTunes, Spreaker, everything is posted directly there automatically. So if you want to listen back, download on demand, listen on the website, you can do that. Thanks for listening.
We're just going to end the show with a little song, another Sango remix that we feel is quite appropriate. It's called BB Don't Cry, and it is quite upsetting. It sort of fills our mood for that conference.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to take a little bit longer to start than what we originally. Disappointed.